This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1281 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful hints, useful facts, and practical techniques for horse folks. Brought to you today by Horseware.
This winter grooming tip is brought to you by Horseware Blankets. Joining us are two of the top grooms in the country, Eventer Philip Dutton's groom Emma Ford and Kat Hill from World Class Grooming. Our Horseware winter grooming tip of the week is brought to you by Kat. And Kat, this time we're talking about keeping your horses warm after a workout. And I think there always is some confusion exactly what to do here.
I do think it's one of the most confusing things, and especially for people who don't necessarily have access to beautiful indoor that attaches to stalls. If you're having to go out in the wind or if you've been out for a trail ride, how exactly do you keep those horses warm from having their muscles seize up and get stiff and uncomfortable? The biggest rule of thumb is simply to never leave a damp, warm horse uncovered. You want the horse to cool out slowly. It's actually the opposite of what we think of when we think of the summertime. You really want them to not go from warm and sweaty to freezing cold all at once. Sweat evaporates, which cools them off, which is great in the summertime and works against us in the winter. So I actually leave my tack on until I have a fleece over their rear end, and then I will remove my saddle and saddle pad. But I don't take my saddle and saddle pad off and then put it down and go get a fleece, because I think it can catch a chill quite quickly when it's properly cold. The same thing, I actually try to use a quarter sheet at the beginnings and ends of my workout so that when I'm doing my walking cool down, when I'm on them or hand walking them, they have something over their quarters to keep them warm. I also try to layer blankets, especially up here in the north, where most days, if you're riding after work, are going to be close to freezing or below freezing. It's very hard to just have a fleece on them. They'll get cold. So what I'll actually do is put a sports net, or the Rambo Luxury Cooler is really nice. It's a dual layer that wicks, or even the fleece-lined Ionic on top of them, and then I put another blanket over top of that to wick away any moisture, and then have the protective layer from the wind on top of it. I actually don't walk forever. I let them stand, but I just make sure that they stay covered, and especially if you've got a limited amount of time after work and you got to get them dressed again before you head home, putting something underneath their regular blanket that helps wick will prevent them from getting chilled.
So the Horseware blankets or fleeces that we'd recommend here are
the Rambo Sports Net as your base layer, and then the Rambo Luxury Cooler or a fleece-lined Ionic as your second layer.
Well, thank you for that, Kat. Good advice. Where can people find more about what you do?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, and our website are all the same. It's World Class Grooming. Our website is worldclassgrooming.com, and then you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at just World Class Grooming.
And don't forget the book, World Class Grooming. You can find that at the website as well. Great holiday gift. This tip was brought to you by Horseware. Have you ever wanted to own your own Rambo? Well, here's your chance. From October 3rd to November 23rd, receive $50 off any Rambo turnout blanket, including the Rambo Duo, the Optimo, the Original, the Supreme, and all the others in the Rambo turnout line. All you have to do is trade in your old turnout from any brand for a horse in need. Simply visit horseware.com/trade for more information and fill out the form for the voucher you will need to get your $50 off. The complete list of retailers is at horseware.com/trade as well. Open to U.S. and Canadian residents only. Go to horseware.com/trade today and replace that blanket with all the holes for one of the best blankets on the market, the Rambo Turnout line.
Well, there you have it. You can find links at horsetipdaily.com. Make sure you have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go by downloading the free Horse Radio Network app for your iPhone or Android. Just go to your app store and search for Horse Radio Network. Download it today. It's quick, it's free, and it's easy. Or you can subscribe via iTunes. And thanks again to our sponsor, Horseware. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.